Good afternoon and good morning, depending on where you are joining from. This is Brian Howe here from Skynamo. We're one of the recent Klipboard acquisitions, and I'm here delighted to bring you a presentation of Skynamo. We're going to wait a few minutes just as we starting to see the number of attendees climbing into the meeting. So we'll get started in the next couple of minutes. Just a reminder that this presentation and demonstration will be recorded, and so you will be able to get access to a copy of this. So yeah, another couple of minutes and we'll get started. Thanks. Okay, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. There may still possibly be people who join along the way. So for those who missed the initial hello from me, hello, it's Brian here from Skynamo. I'm actually dialed in from probably quite a distance from most of where you all are based. You can hear I'm South African and I do hail from South Africa, but I'm actually based here in London at the moment. So our weather is quite different to yours. We've got very, very warm 32, 33 degree temperatures. But I will be back in South Africa next week. So I'm looking forward to putting on my jumper because things are sweltering hot here in the UK. For anyone that's been, when it gets hot, it's really quite humid and hot. Just a couple of house rules. We've got an hour for this presentation and demo. I don't think we're going to need all of it. So hopefully you can have some of your day back. But we are recording the session so that you will be able to get access to it and send those out to colleagues as well. And if you have any questions, please, if you wouldn't mind popping those questions into the question area or the box. There is a facility to raise your hand, but I do have a colleague of mine, Precious, who's available, who at the end will allow people and unmute you to ask some questions. But it would be helpful if you could put the questions into the question box. So you'll see there's a little box there with a question mark in it. Please pop any questions into that and we'll do our best to get back to you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to be going through a bit of an introduction. So we are Skynamo. You may or may not have heard of us before. Perhaps we even have some clients who use Skynamo on the call. So if that's you, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining. So what are we? We are a field sales app, and specifically we've developed an integration for ERP Go, or you might know your software package as IQ Retail. So we're here today to show you the latest that Klipboard have acquired. So IQ Retail's business has bought Skynamo, and that's what we're here to talk to you about today, and hopefully give you a live demo if things play well. So Skynamo is a unified sales platform that streamlines our customers' entire sales operations. So we've got micro, small, medium, and even large customers on Skynamo using Skynamo daily. We've got about 1,000 customers that are using us to help with their sales process, anything from placing orders in the field to creating quotes, to capturing notes about visits and customer interactions. There's quite a few people using us as a CRM, if you will, to capture information and notes about customers. And certainly any time that you go away from your premise, especially if you've got field sales reps, then these 1,000 customers are busy doing things on the mobile platform. So it's important to note that Skynamo operates on iOS and Android, which means it operates on the iPhone or the Samsung phone, as well as tablets. So it could be an iPad or an Android tablet as well. And then there's a back office system. And we've got, from these 1,000 customers, we always operate in dollars because the numbers are big. So we've got about $110 million worth of sales orders that are getting processed every month from Skynamo. So it really is huge. There's about 500,000 visits that get started in the field every month from Skynamo. So yeah, what our unique sales proposition really is we replace fragmented tools. So there's no more person-dependent work. There's no guesswork involved. We've got one system that helps you to run in the field in terms of execution and office coordination, customer self-service, as well as intelligence from a single source of truth. So we plug into Skynamo, plugs into ERP Go or into IQ Retail with a tight integration, and then we allow those people who are outside of your premise or in the field to be able to rely on information in terms of doing their job. Don't think of this just as a license for IQ Retail in the field. This is so much more. It's a sales system. And you might be sitting there thinking, I don't necessarily have field sales reps going out. Well, if you've got access to Skynamo, you certainly can. Even if you've got people in your store, you might have a retail store with salespeople. And when things get quiet, you could actually go out and call upon customers, which is really cool. So we're going to show you in the demo how you go ahead and do that. So who is Skynamo ultimately for? Well, broad stroke, manufacturers, wholesalers, importers, and distributors are all eligible. And some might be manufacturers that do some of their own distribution. Some may be importers that rebrand and assemble things and then go out and use other people as distributors. But if you're in the field, you can have access to Skynamo. And of course, we've also got a back office system, which helps to tie that field into the sales for you. So specifically, if you want to try and figure out whether Skynamo is right for you, by the way, the graphic that you can see on the screen, that's the back office or the dashboard, the management portal that I'm going to take you into. And in the front there, you can see an example of Skynamo being used by a field sales rep in the field on a mobile or on a tablet. So if you've got field reps who visit customers specifically on a regular cycle, or they're going out on a regular basis, then Skynamo is more than likely going to be a fit for you. If you sell through independent retail channels, this could be a program for you. And if you've got an ERP or accounting system, so hopefully most of you on the call have made the move to come onto ERP Go or have been using IQ Retail for some time, well, we integrate into that. And specifically, if you've got products somewhere, whether it's in a warehouse, in a store somewhere, then Skynamo is almost certainly for you. So we've got a couple of products. Skynamo can be used on the web browser, it can be used as a mobile app, but then we've also got some pretty cool sales data and analytics, a bit of an intelligence, which give you insights around helping to figure out where your market share is, how to get new business, which customers have started recently spending with you, how your sales visits are translating into actual orders, whether those are people who are prompted to come into your store or whether you're actually going around and influencing sales in the field. So we've got a separate data analysis system called Radar, which is hugely exciting. And that's probably the newest thing that we've got built out on Skynamo. So we'll have a look at all of this information in the demo. We're going to dwell here just for a minute or so to let you know that we have, since our inception 14 years ago, so Skynamo has been going for 14 years now. We were born in 2012. So 2012 in Stellenbosch, which is, I'm sure most of you know, we're snuggled up in some of the wine estate there, where the majority of our developers and staff are actually based. We also do have a Johannesburg office, as well as a UK office, which I'm in, and then a USA office. But we are obsessed with security. And you should all be obsessed with your data and security. Skynamo has been ISO 27001 certified since 2019, and we proudly wear that badge. It's no mean feat. Every year we get recredited. Constantly, we have to not only keep up the same standards, but we have to improve our standards, not only on the data that we're protecting, not only on the apps and the systems that we're integrating with, but also in terms of our staff and keeping things absolutely safe. So this is for sure. There will be very few other competitor products that play in our game globally that actually have this ISO 27001 certification. And our current certification is actually valid until 2028. But as I say, we've got a security team, and every single week they meet to make sure that your data is safe. So then what problems do we actually help with? Well, firstly, by the way, this is a great, this photograph was taken, it's an actual photograph of our offices. So it was taken by a drone, hovering above some of the winelands in Stellenbosch, some of the mountains in the background. So please, if you're ever in Technopark region in Stellenbosch area, please do feel free to pop in and meet the team. We'll gladly serve you a coffee, help you with any support inquiries. You can get a face-to-face demo if you come to our offices as well. But yeah, effectively, what we help with is for you to be able to see what's happening in the field. We also allow you to grow without losing control. So what that means is often it can be expensive to have a field sales representative out and about, whether it's petrol, whether it's the tools that they need to do the job, and actually knowing that they're being effective. So with Skynamo, it's a complete management portal. So you're going to know every second of the day, as long as the rep's on your time, exactly where those sales reps are, how many kilometers they're driving, who they're visiting, what orders they're placing. So we give those salespeople all the access to all the tools that they need to help you grow your business. But you've also got the peace of mind that you from the office can know exactly how you're being represented in your field, which is really important. It keeps your customer intelligence in the business. So quite often salespeople might move from one company to another. Once again, we're super safe, so we can lock everything down. In fact, you've got the ability to be able to lock that data down or reapply licenses to somebody else. But the most important thing is that gone are the days of the salespeople writing everything in a book. And then, of course, when they go to the next business, you lose all that information. So everything is now stored inside of Skynamo, and that will be available for not only you as a business, but also anybody else who joins your business or takes over that patch or that role will be able to have the full timeline of exactly what's happened there, which is great. It allows you to get more from your sales reps. So it really helps to guide your sales reps in the field, and it takes away a lot of the administration and the cumbersome report writing and letting people know what's going on, etc. It allows you to capture all that information. And then, of course, you can serve every customer profitably, not just the ones where a rep goes to visit. So you can really justify who should be visited, who stopped visiting, and what that's happened effectively to your bottom line by way of orders. Now, we've got a seamless integration. We've got a setup in under 5 minutes. So I think that's we absolutely are able to do that through your business partners. So we've created what we call a productized integration now. Since we've been acquired earlier on this year by Klipboard, or from the IQ retail owners, effectively, we've really done a lot to lock in that integration and to put it really simply so that we can actually get things plugged in really, really quickly. And we boast a one-click productized integration. It's more likely a couple of clicks to actually do it. But I think the point is that you don't need to have huge amounts of time. You don't need to have huge amounts of cost. We've taken all of that out in a bid to make Skynamo available to you really easily. And we've also got an exclusive discounted offer for ERP Go customers. So if you're out there considering getting a sales tool, putting in a CRM system, you really want to go and speak to your business partner to come and find out about the pricing, because as any other ERP, you won't get this pricing. This is specifically tailored to ERP Go, so for the IQ retail customers. So what we want to do, this is just a very a high level of some of the information. So on the left-hand side in the blue column, you've got ERP Go, so you've got your IQ retail, and typically we will send Skynamo, the field sales app, customers, products, and once again, it's not just basic information, it's product name, product code, different categories, different SKUs, different colors, all of that product information, barcodes, you name it, we put it in there, as well as pricing. So specifically, we will mimic what's happening in your IQ retail system, so in the ERP Go system, and we will play a recall on all of that accurate customer pricing, whether you've got deal group set up there, whether you've got special offers. Skynamo will replicate that for you in the field. We can map in stock levels, once again, if that's important to you, by warehouse. We also bring in sales history, so you can have a look. There might be orders placed not only by the sales reps, but either in store, online, any other mechanism. Sometimes those orders come in via a WhatsApp or via an email. So once again, we've got access to all of that sales history, so that if you're that sales rep in the field, then you've got the best data to rely on. And of course, one of the most important things that we pass back into your ERP are, in fact, the orders. So your ERP Go runs the business, and Skynamo helps to drive the sales. So they really do work well together. Right, so what can Skynamo Field Sales app do for you? Well, first, it's a mobile-first app on Android and iOS, as we mentioned before. One of the big things that I often stress is that Skynamo on the mobile app, because it's native, it works completely offline. So it actually saves data onto the device in a encrypted format, which is, once again, ISO 27001 certified, but it allows that salesperson to have access even when there is no internet connection. So you can have all the information in the app. And once again, this equals less admin, more time selling, because you're not having to phone the office, you're not having to open up the laptop to find information. It's all available on the fly, and you've got accurate customer information when your salespeople need it most. You can put your entire product catalog in there with pricing, images, enhanced quoting, you name it. This really is a magnificent tool. And then, of course, you've got the web interface, largely for internal staff, either internal sales. A lot of managers use our web interface, where they can see all the interactions in real time as they happen, which customers are visited, and basically there's less user queries from the field because these two systems are tied in and working in sync. Cool, so it's time for a demo. I'm going to swivel into the Skynamo demo. So if you just give us a second there. Right, you should all be able to see my iPad that I've got. So I'm going to be doing this iPad, and I'm clocked in as Brian. You can see that I've worked today for 53 minutes. I haven't driven any kilometers. I haven't traveled any kilometers, but I go ahead and start my day. So this is just an app. This is downloadable from the Play Store, the iStore. And you can see when I log in, you've got a timeline, and there's a couple of personal targets there. So we manage office given targets as well as personal targets. I've just created some personal targets where I've got a certain number of orders that I want to place in a week. And then I've got a certain number of visits that I want to do in a week. And so once again, you can click on the view more at the bottom, and you can see all of your timeline information that's been going on, and you can filter it. You can say, right, I just want to have a look at the last sets of invoices, and you can see those. Or I want to have a look at just the orders, or I want to have a look at just the comments. that I've placed in the visit. So once again, this is a really, really cool piece of kit in order to manage your timeline and everything that's happening. So I'm going to take you through the life of what's happening in the salesperson. I'm going to leave my workplace, or it might be I leave home to go and call on my first customer, and I'm going to jump in there and show you what I can see. So if I click on the next tab along the bottom, I can see my customers. And by the way, there's different ways that you can see customers. If you go right the way to the bottom right, you can click near me, and this is where you'll see. If I zoom out, guys, I'm actually in London. So Skynamo will always locate you on the map, and then it'll show you where your closest customers are around you. So once again, if I zoom out, you can see I've got a load of customers there. If I actually zoom in to Cape Town, which is where we hail from, you can see I've got customers there as well. So it really doesn't matter where you are in the world, as long as you've pinned your customers or you've put your customers into Skynamo, you can call upon them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into one of my contracts here, and I'm going to choose Amiro's Hardware. So I need to go and visit them. So when I click into Amiro's Hardware, you can see I've got all the contacts that I need. I've got the guy that I need to deal with in sales. I've got a few other contacts there. Once again, if you're using this from the phone, you can phone directly from that little icon, the telephone button, or you could click the email and you could email this customer directly. And at the top right, you'll see there's a timeline. So like you saw a timeline for all my activities on the opening screen, here you've got a timeline that you can filter down and see quotes, visits, orders, invoices, anything that you want to see there. There are a few insights, so you can have a look at a little bit of analytics, what's been happening in December, January, February, and March, having a look at the actual target that I've set for this customer and what I've actually invoiced against that. So once again, without going into the intricacies, you can see that there's some really cool information, and sometimes a quick look at what's outstanding. So I've got a carton sealer here. 3 of these are outstanding. I ordered 10, but actually there's something that I'm waiting for. So this is phenomenal information. All of it's offline, and you can also see in the customer contact card any sort of other information. You can tell whether customers are on stop. You can tell what products they stock, and you can also navigate directly to that customer. So it's really wonderful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a visit. So I've had a look at the information, and I'm going to start a visit. You can tailor this visit form with just notes. You could take some pictures, some images, or you could search for products. So once again, I've just picked a few fields here. You could have just a text box, but you could actually collect any information you want. I want to show you quite a nifty feature. It's called the voice to text. This is where you put all your visit notes, and life becomes so easy because there's no more admin to do. Yay! So you can see this is really, really phenomenal. No more laborious taking out, making notes. You can literally voice the text directly into the comments. And you can also go ahead and you can take a photograph. So I'm going to allow my camera to go on there. It's really hot in the UK, so I've got a fan next to me on the desk here. But you can see I've got a photograph that I've taken. It'll suck it into that timeline. Once again, all this information, everything you've seen can be available offline. And as soon as there's an on-ramp to the internet, or when you go into Wi-Fi, this will connect up, and on the back office, we'll see that information. But I've started a visit. You can tell I've been there for exactly a minute. I've taken a photograph. I've made some visit notes, and now I'm ready to go and place an order or do a quote. So I'm going to hit the add button, and I'm going to go for an order. Skynamo's got quite a cool format and way of being able to build up the order. So I can swivel the iPad round, and you can see that I've actually got this really cool, phenomenal landscape version of this. I can have a look at stock levels on the right-hand side for the particular product. You can see how many are in stock. You can actually have a look at all the files and information. You can have a look at pricing. Once again, Skynamo can map in single units, outers, inners, pallets, cartons, so you name it, however you build up your order. And you can also go ahead and you can have a look at different categories, different price ranges, different discount ranges, different brands, and you can actually choose what it is that you want to do. But for the purposes of this, I'm just going to build up an order. Let's take a few of these. Here you can see I've got inners and outers, so I can either order pallets or I can order outers, and I can hit next. And then what happens is it'll pull together a beautiful summary. You can also sign on glass, but you can see that there's a summary there. So this is a whopping order that I'm going to be placing down here. So it's going to hit me into hitting my personal target territory, I'm hoping. And then, of course, you can go ahead and you can finish your visit. So the wonderful thing, there you go. Congratulations. I've actually smashed my target of 2 million orders for the week. Nice bit of a pat on the back, and I move on to my next customer. I'm going to swivel that back around into portrait view as well. Once again, you can lock down these formats, but just wanted to show you that there's some variety there. We also got a really nice calendar and tasking system, so you can actually put call cycles in. If you haven't got sales reps at the moment, you can get them going out, starting to try and push orders, but then you can also figure out which customers you want to visit more and put them onto a visit schedule or a call frequency, and they actually physically have to go to that GPS coordinate in order to complete that task. So once again, there's some really cool ways of making sure that you're doing the business. There's a really easy way to have a look at all your different products. So you can see there, you've got images, you can do multiple images, you can save videos. So no more reaching for the latest catalog. You've got everything that you need on the mobile device. And so once again, whether that's an iPhone, a Samsung phone, a tablet, as long as you've got Skynamo downloaded and you've synchronized it into ERP Go, you will get all your customers. Once again, this carves up the database according to which customers are yours, who you need to see, and gives you the ability to be able to do that. So yeah, once again, I'm gonna move across onto the back office now and just show you what effectively we're able to see from Skynamo on the back office. So this is now the manager portal. So I've been out in the field doing some orders. Now you're going to have a look at some of the visits that we've placed. So I've got a dashboard here and I can see the total visits. I can actually go ahead and see all my different reps that are out in the field. And I can carve up this dashboard in terms of showing me different information. So I've got invoice value. I've got the average visit duration. You can see I spend an average of 1 hour and 16 minutes per customer. I can see the total invoice value. And then once again, you can drill down into your individual invoices, top performing customers, top performing reps. Yeah, we could be here all day. We've got a lot of information that we capture. One of the things that I did want to show you is some of our RFM analysis. And I'm just going to hop across. Unfortunately, I don't have this information on this instance. I'm going to go across onto a better configured instance here. And you can see what Skynamo does is it quite carefully goes, oh, actually, hang on a second. I don't seem to have that analysis. Sorry, I'm going to go into this RFM analysis on my other screen. I'm going to switch instances quickly. So you can see here you can have multiple instances. I'm going to go onto my radar instance just because I know I've got better data here. And then I'm going to jump onto the RFM analysis here. So RFM analysis stands for recency, frequency, monetary. So what this does is it has a look at all of your customers and it says who normally buys, what frequencies, how much money do they normally spend, what seasonal buying patterns do they have? And it starts to put your customers into groups of at-risk, critical, loyalists, champions, potential loyalists. And once again, you saw some of those flags arriving on the mobile device. So you can really start understanding which customers are stopping spending with you, which need to be spending some more money, which are potentially at risk, and which you need to focus on because they are actually becoming top spenders. So once again, I'm not going to go into all of this. If anybody does want a demo, there'll be some contact details at the end of this presentation. Please do get in touch with us and we can show you all the reporting and all the things that Skynamo has in order to help you run your business. But I'm going to show you what happened on that back office demo that I just did. So you can see there, we've placed an order. So this is what helped me get to my target. You can see this is the order now because I'm synced. This is now synced to the back office. You can see this is the order that I placed just a little minute ago. You can see the visit that I actually did. And once again, that's the voice to text commentary that came in there. And you can see the photograph that I took. I remember I showed you, there's my fan on the side because it's hot. So everything's timestamped, dated. This is absolutely brilliant. Whether you're doing competitor analysis, whether you've got a complaint form because there's a damaged goods that you need to capture, everything's available on here. And you can jump directly into this customer's timeline from the back office, and you can see the beautiful list of all the data, the history, all the visits, the quotes, the orders, the invoices that have happened there. So once again, you could actually liaise with, so these are notes for my rep. And once again, when you go and save that comment, there'll be a ping notification on the mobile device or the tablet saying that there's a message from the back office or your manager, whoever's got access to this account, to get in there. And that will be on the timeline, both of the back office as well as in the mobile device. So once again, all that information that you can see gets captured here in a beautiful timeline, any photographs that get taken. So you can see that was the last one that I did. And then you've got lots of different reports and deals and all sorts of things that you can look at for this particular account. Now, there's a few other things that I want to show you on the back office before we wrap up this portion of the demo. Firstly, I wanted to take you across to the forms. So this is an incredible way that you can build any form you want. So at the moment, we've got quote forms, we've got visit forms, we've got order forms, but you may have an installation form. You might have a job card form. There might be a specific form that you need to create. And you can see how easy it is. You can create a new form, and you can actually say, right, I want a piece of text here, then I want a number to be captured here, then I want a multiple drop down list to be captured here, I want a time and date to be captured here, I want them to take a photograph here, and you can build a form out. So it might be that you're wanting to go after some competitor analysis and you want to send your salesperson out there to see what pricing is being sold for competitor products, and you could build a form to gather that data, and then you've got it available to make really informed decisions for your business. You can also have a look here. We've got reports. So not only do we have a dashboard, but we've also got a whole bunch of canned reports. So we might go into here and we might say the call report as an example, and you can see a beautiful call report. Once again, I don't have any activities here, but if I did, remember, this has got GPS coordinates. So as that tablet's going around, you're going to have a beautiful map peppered in with all the spots that your agents or your rep has actually visited, with all the comments, and you can see on a weekly or a monthly or a daily basis how effective your users are going. I'll show you one more call report, and this will be Salesforce report as an example. So you can see here are my sales reps. Okay, we've got demo data. There's not much activity on here, but you can see the number of visits. You can see the orders placed. The orders placed per visit, average order value, it gives it a score. So once again, if sales management and building out a sales team is not your thing, Skynamo can really help with this. And so this is a challenge for anybody who's sitting there going, how do I get more business drummed out? You've got a piece of software where you can trust as the foundation. I mean, you can see exactly what's going on in the field, and all of that information is given to the rep to be the best possible version of them selling that they can be, which is really cool. And finally, the last thing that I'm going to round off and show you is just some of the settings. So once again, as a back office user, we've got a support team to help you in the field, telephone, email, and like I said, you can actually come in to our office and have a cup of coffee if you require, or if you would like. But you can see here that we actually empower you to be able to set up and edit the user roles, who can see what bits of information, what products you're bringing, what your customer fields are that you want your reps to see in the field. So we try and empower you with the ability to set up as much of Skynamo as you need to, so that you can change it and change the configuration for what suits your business. Once again, we are absolutely on hand to help you set up all of that. So what I'm going to now jump in and just show you a very short video about integrating with Skynamo. It's high level. So once again, we have lots of documentation, information that we can send you, and we'd be glad to send you to show you how we go about integrating with Skynamo. But this just gives you a flavor for how simple and easy the integration is with Skynamo. So I'm just going to play, and we're going to watch for a couple of minutes. Wonderful. Thank you very much to our marketing team for pulling that together. Really good indeed. So, pulling it all together, you've really got a combined solution with combined benefits. So your ERP system, your IQ Retail, your ERP Go manages your inventory and your warehouse and your pricing and your financials and the order processing as well as some of the fulfillment. Skynamo, the field sales app, connects into that, and it really helps with the field sales team with mobile ordering, all offline. I think that's a really, really big part to grasp and hang on to there. It allows customer visits, activity tracking, notes and collection, photographs, as well as sales prioritization. You're able to have your full catalog and represent your products and your business in the best way possible. And together, they create a closed loop system where reps are able to sell with live ERP data, and orders that are placed in the field flow directly into ERP Go, onto IQ Retail, where stock and pricing stay accurate. So management can see everything in real time. And all of this helps to keep you winning in the field. It helps to manage your customer relationships and gives your salespeople time to do their sales job and not sit and fill in laborious sales reports and wait before orders can get processed and send in WhatsApps where there could be errors, or waiting to pop something onto an email before it actually gets processed into your office. So that officially brings us to the end of the presentation. And I would like to say that if you are keen to get some a quote for Skynamo and you're keen to see what that's going to cost you, there's a WhatsApp number that you can actually send out to. Just please send a message to that WhatsApp saying, quote please for Skynamo, and people will get in touch back with you asking for how many users and a few bits of information about your ERP. You can also send an email to hello@Skynamo. So that's skynamo.com, or please contact your business partner. In fact, all of your business partners should know about Skynamo. We've had multiple webinars now. We've sent them some information. They will be able to get you the very best pricing. And once again, it's really great discounted pricing for our partnership here. So please do get in touch. So that brings us to the end of the presentation. I hope you found that useful. If you want a specific demo, please get in touch, hello@skynamo.com. We'll come and we'll do a discovery call, find out more information, and then speak directly back into some of those features that you may need, which will be great. I am actually just going to see whether there's any questions that have arrived. I'm not sure. I don't know if any of my colleagues at Klipboard can see whether there have been any questions or any hands up, because I don't seem to see anything on my side. Precious, I don't know if you're there or if anybody can help with if there are any questions. No questions. I'll just wait for another 10 seconds. If anybody would like to put their hand up and ask a question, you're absolutely welcome. Okay.
Hi, Brian. Sorry, Brian. Precious here. There is a meeting. There is a question asking, does the app replace the current eSales app?
Good question. So at the moment, it does not replace the current eSales app. There are a few differences between what our app does and what eSales does. I think at some point there's going to be a consolidation, and it looks like Skynamo is likely to be a product that's going to be involved in a lot of different feature sets. But please, whoever that was, if you could pop your details down on hello@skynamo.com, that would be fantastic. I'll try and give you a call, find out some more information from HQ here, from Klipboard. But once again, at the moment, we're busy looking at the overlaps, the underlaps, and I think in due course, there will be some consolidation. When that's going to happen, I'm not sure, but perhaps I can get back to you on that. So thank you for that question. It's a great one. Cool. Were there any other questions there, Precious?
No, it doesn't look like there's any other questions.
Okay, fantastic.
Sorry, there is a hand now from Peter.
Sure. Go for it, Peter. I don't think I can hear anything, Peter. I'm not sure if you're muted or... I can't hear anything coming through. Maybe, Peter, if you could pop a question into the Q&A. Precious, have you confirmed if you can unmute Peter?
Thank you very much. I wasn't unmuted. You should have me now.
Yes, I can hear you.
We're a traditional Skynamo user. We love the program. And we recently took on IQ Enterprise. Just wanted to find out about integration between the two. Does one have to use ERP Go to have systematic integration? Because at the moment, using CSV uploads from Skynamo and IQ to cross over is quite tedious.
Yes, sure. So we do have a productized integration. You can actually use Skynamo standalone. So I'm not sure what ERP system you were on before, if you were just using the uploads. But if you're on IQ Retail now, then absolutely we can set you up on the new program and run an integration for you, Peter.
That'd be wonderful. Who do I reach out to for that?
Please, if you could pop an email to hello@skynamo.com, that will come to, I'll be copied into that with some of my team, and we'll get the process rolling. If you could also put in who your business partner is, who you normally deal with, that would be wonderful. And we'll make sure that they're kept in the loop as well.
Great, thank you.
Fantastic. It's so nice to hear from Skynamo users. So that's really cool. It's not just me on the demo with a live demo here. It's one of the users. So thank you for joining us. Unless there's any other questions, and Precious, are there any other questions on the call?
We've got Johan.
Yes, Johan, go for it.
Good afternoon, Johan Kruger, Bacarius Technologies. I'm a business partner for IQ and Omni accounts, and also for Skynamo. I've got a couple of customers on Skynamo from that integrates to Omni already. So my question is there a planned integration for Skynamo to Omni accounts? Is there something like that in the pipeline, Brian?
Yes, as far as I know, we are going to be doing productized integrations with manufacturing. So what Klipboard have done is they've got the different namings. You've got ERP Go, you've got manufacturing. Included in manufacturing is Omni integration as well as Palladium. My understanding is yes. So Johan, if you could once again pop those details down. I'm not sure who your business partner is, but your name does ring a bell. So it might be that you're already dealing with some of our colleagues, Clinton and Philip and the likes, and we can get a more of a roadmap answer on that. But the short answer is yes, there should be.
Okay, yeah, because I had to spend a lot of time in doing a manual integration, programming a lot of script to integrate Omni accounts with the field services app.
Yes.
And I would hate to repeat that type of process every time that I sell Skynamo onto my portfolio of Omni accounts customers.
Sure. Okay, no problem. We will definitely get that back to you. If I can just ask you a question, a favor, to pop that onto hello@skynamo.com. We've got this recording, and I'll get that into the right hands, and somebody will come back to you on that for sure.
Brilliant. Will do. Thanks a lot, Brian. You have a good day.
Thanks. You too, Manjan. Thank you. Great. Anyone else there, Precious?
I don't see any hands.
Okay, great. So I would like to say thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and evenings as they approach. From sunny London, it's Brian from Skynamo. Thank you very much for joining, and I hope to see you all on Skynamo soon. Many thanks, and bye-bye.